It is said that an army marches on its stomach. I can tell you that it marches on money. The ability to get from these gentlemen in this room the finances necessary for the general to win this war, it is preposterous. The systems that they have construed. Unanimous vote by each of the 13 colonies, and to pay as they wish on a voluntary basis, contribute what they would like to the cause for independence. Oh, what loose bonds kept us together during these early days. But the Articles of Confederation did just that. It did keep us together in those early days. But once the war was won, and we lost our common united enemy of Great Britain, we turned to ourselves. We turned to competition in trade, in finance, taxation, and currencies at a in a ununified and and often retaliatory, used in a retaliatory manner. It really was a semblance of what one should not do if one wanted to create a great country. We needed order in the finances. We needed order in the government. I was proclaiming this throughout the war. In letters that I wrote to Governor Morris, of course, conversations with the general about this. After the war, my meeting in Maryland at the Annapolis Convention, that showed a good spirit, how the other representatives are starting to take an interest in uniting our affairs. But it still took more. Again, it took the general getting involved, offering to be the president of the constitutional, what would be known eventually as the Constitutional Convention. For us, it was just the Philadelphia Convention. But if it was an interesting story to the general serving as the president of the Philadelphia Convention here. There was actually another convention in Philadelphia at the same time, to which the general had previously given his regards, but declined the invitation and said he could not attend in Philadelphia at that time. Of course, the meeting that I'm referring to is the Society of Cincinnati. The meeting was a bit of a controversial one. I believe it was the second annual meeting. And the whole idea of hereditary title, which is a foundation of the society for members who can only be drawn from the ranks of the officer corps serving under the general or with the French. And then to have that honor bestowed upon the family in perpetuity. And it was not seen in the best of lights by many of the people. Benjamin Franklin here proclaimed it a hereditary order of knights. So the decision whether or not to abolish that part of the group's bylaws was coming up for a vote, and really the general did not want to have any part of that affair. So he stayed away. More than a third of the men in this room for the Constitutional Convention were actually members of the society. And so it really was a unique schism in politics, and I can understand the concerns for having what, from an outsider's point of view, might be seen as or ill will, that you can manifest a creation about a secret society and what they're really doing with their power. But all in all, it's just an organization that exists for the betterment of the soldiers and their families, and for standing for the ideas that we stood so proudly for during the Revolutionary War, to continue those ideas in perpetuity. So, nonetheless, the general now, of course, James Madison and I tried to get the general's ear for him to come down to here to the Philadelphia Convention for the what would for the Constitution, and he told us that he could not, for he already told the society that he was not able that weekend. So that week, uh, so really quite a conundrum what befell future president at that time. But as being military men, rights were not going to be hurt once the truth comes out. For the importance of the event to be known, and the general was able to come to the Constitutional Convention and play really the leading role in unifying all of the delegates and forging us into one strong country under his great leadership. So much like Cincinnatus, originally the Roman general who showed such selflessness and loyalty to the state and giving all that he can as service to the state for its betterment. So our first president was chosen from the best of stock, from the best of men. The society, just to finish the story, actually voted to take it away, the requirement for hereditary um, membership, and so and that kind of quelled it. And as the general is actually the first president for the society, so he's he should be there for these things, but it actually before my time as president, though I served as president from 1799 until 1804. I served as president of the Society of Cincinnati. Um, Something that for some reason your new chat GTP does not know about. Does not it does not believe that I was the president. Really wish it would smarter, but nonetheless, um, they voted many years later to reinstate it, but the French declined, or for some reason, it was not reinstated for the French. So once those officers passed, there's no more new French officers to take their place. But even today, the society exists as a hereditary association. So if you happen to have a relative who served as an officer in the leadership of the general, please look into membership for the society. I'm sure that they would support of such a fine event. Well, that is my dinner time story. Oops. Oops. There we go. Oh, some things are easier. Mm. Oh, you are still here. I am sorry. I thought you left already. Well, have a great day. I'll see you in another